Welcome to Post Halo versus SUNY Canton Spartans. I'm Frisco, and I'm here with Magick right now. How you doing, Magick?
Great. It's been a little bit of a chaotic day, but I tell you what, looking forward to casting some Halo. Really kind of just a bright spot in the day. I'm really excited to be here and get to cast these matches alongside you tonight, Frisco.
I know, same. It's just when everything is kind of happening all at once everywhere, you just kind of want to sit down and, relax a little bit with some Halo, talk about a little bit of Halo. Just games in general, It's always a good way to end the day.
No, absolutely right. Excited to see this matchup in particular because from last week when we watched Post University against Boise State, which was the defending champion from the previous season, we did see them get taken down, but it was competitive. It wasn't a sweep, and I want to see if Post University can use some momentum from last week to really lock in that playoff spot here.
I know. It's like with both teams being like on the verge of, it's do or die right now. You got to get to that number 4 with both teams 3-3. You can't. There's no wiggle room from this anymore. Let's see if we can get the momentum kind of going. And I do notice that they are starting on live fire again, and I believe this is the third week in a row that everyone's opting for live fire. Right as their starter.
I would be interested to see like a poll for most popular map because I think that live fire would be the top of the list. Live fire and streets I think are probably 1 and 2 from for the ranked game mode. So not necessarily surprised to see them going back to live fire, but excited to see how this plays out. There's a lot to work with on live fire. I was actually just playing Frisco just before we hop on for this cast, and the last game was on live fire, believe it or not.
Of course. It's just, it feels more balanced out, Live Fire Slayer just kind of feels like the kind of natural progression of things in so many ways. It's just, you have tight quarters in some situations, wide open space in others. You can kind of cater your own kind of play style depending on where you want to kind of hover around and position yourself on the map quite a bit. So a lot of people probably feel comfortable here depending on how they kind of want to play,
And the one thing I would say that's going to shake things up because of the winter update that just hit on Tuesday, there's a few weapons, we were kind of talking about this behind the scenes, that are really strong. And the two I would say to watch out for are the Commando, that auto or semi-auto mid-range rifle, and then also the plasma pistol, also known as the green gun. Both of those got a significant buff, and the BR got a slight nerf with a decreased damage and a decrease to aim assist or bullet magnetism. So combine those two things, we're going to see some more Commando plays and plasma pistol plays, especially if these players are up to date on that winter update.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you just can't rely on the battle rifle as much in these kind of situations. It's just like, especially at longer ranges, it's going to be a little bit tougher out, We're hopefully going to see a little bit more weapon variety in that case, because, sometimes people just want to kind of stick with the BR, with the tried and true, but that's not going to be so much of an option anymore.
I think we will still see, the bread and butter weapon, as you called it. The BR is still going to be the main player, but look for a little bit more variety or even just more doubling up on weapons. Right now, it does look like these slays are a slight advantage here for SUNY. They do have the sniper in hand as well, as Promise is trying to stay alive, looking for a target, but it looks like teammates are kind of cleaning out a path in front of him. He does have a target right in front, going with that trusty BR at this mid-range engagement, and wins off a nice kill.
It's trying to go for a little bit of long-range snipes down hallway, but Mydudesa is going to try and get the flank going. Not able to pull it off, though. Nice back turn, but Permish is going to finish that one off.
Like the little ring around the rosy play, using that pillar to kind of loop around behind. But Permish, we've seen it week after week as the leading slayer here for Post University. A little bit of a slower start here, but that's, it's early in game 1. I fully expect Permish to put up some big numbers again tonight.
Yeah, right now Mydudesa is really kind of pulling it out right now. It's a 6-3 KD right now. And gonna finish off Zekrom right there. Let's get a little bit of it. Oh, and as soon as there's Mydudesa, he's just out there.
Watch out for that heat wave, man. It can melt you so faster than you can blink twice. And watch out, because that's what happened right there. Like, everything seemed to be going just fine, and then the heat wave comes around the corner and changes it up. So now we see a 5-point lead. It's been a close game up until this point. A little bit of a chink in the armor, and here it is, the plasma pistol. I said watch out for this weapon. It's going to be more popular. Unfortunately, Wirta is not able to connect.
Yeah, and right now Post did have a decent grouping up a second ago, but now they're just kind of split up a little bit. A little bit of an advantage going up against Canton and kind of throwing grenades down in hallway, but their grouping is just that tight where it doesn't really make a difference. Mydudesa is going to be kind of find himself in the hallway up top, and he is going to lose it.
So at this point, it does look like the Eagles have kind of stopped the bleeding. They were holding this 5-point deficit, but they also need to go beyond that and try to work into that lead that so far the Spartans have been able to eke out. So we're reaching about the halfway point. No room for panic right now. And Permish lobbing the grenades, helping out as Wirta does clean up that kill, and they have cut that lead in half.
Yeah, but kind of find himself right in that corner, right behind box, not able to kind of get a decent position. There was not much he could do. It's either he jumps over the ledge and kind of exposes himself in like that hang time for like a half second more, or he kind of hovers to the right and hopefully he can kind of walk off of it, but wasn't going to work out in either case for him.
Does look like Post University have tightened up a little bit. We do see some more team shooting, which is going to be important. Unfortunately, in that case, though, we did see the player was kind of isolated. That boy takes advantage, wins over the kill, but answered back. And now here's Permish with the sniper in the sniper tower. Goes for the shot, drops down, but not able to complete the kill. And Zakirim, if I'm saying that correctly, was able to preserve his life, but he's trying to fight. He's trying to get that no scope, isn't able to connect.
Yeah, just, you know, you kind of, it's so tempting whenever you have sniper, not able to get that hit, but you just kind of want to you know, wave either the analog stick or the mouse super quickly and hope the kind of the auto aim assists you there, but not really working out in his favor right there.
I mean, at least he did burn off some ammo, so he's giving up the sniper with less ammo. Mydudesa trying to go for the trade on the melee there, doesn't connect. Cool Dog stays alive with 1 HP, and sometimes surviving with 1 HP is the only difference between a win and a loss. So credit to Cool Dog for milking his life, as we do see that the Spartans from SUNY are up now, 7-point lead.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Turning this around, right? Because they were in the lead a second ago, right?
No, I mean, the Spartans have had the lead throughout the game. It was very close in the early stages, but it was like a 1 or 2 point lead, and that was 5 points. So now it's the most significant lead. Now it's 8, and now make it 9. So starting to run away with it here in the second half of the game.
Yeah, and this is the kind of the tough point. It's like with only 12 kills left, like you got to make some plays now.
Yes.
It's just, you know, you gotta force something. You gotta regroup, kind of push together a bit more, try and go for those like clean sweeps at this point. You gotta take those bigger risks. This is the time to do it now.
10-point lead right now, but I've seen crazier comebacks. Mydudesa gonna pick off a nice kill there, and now Dat Boy is raining down fire, but Permish on the flank. We've seen this time and time again from Permish. He does make that flank play. He's happy running solo. He gets 1 takedown before he is eliminated, but it's still, it's gotta be, you know, going 2 for 1 on the kills just to get back into this game.
Yeah, and it's just like, now we're at a point where both teams are kind of trying to hold their separate positions right now, and this is going to be the kind of, you know, play that is going to really benefit Canton right now. They can take it nice and slow. They don't have to commit to anything, and it's the slower the match kind of gets at this point, the easier it's going to be for them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the Canton Spartans here are happy to trade out kills. They still have that 8-point lead, and now here comes Wirta with the plasma pistol, but it's all about the timing, connecting on the shot. He's looking for it. He hits it, swaps to that BR. That was a nice, clean play and a great demonstration of the utility. But watch that ammo counter, because as you hold that charge, the ammo does deplete, and now he's in trouble as he's getting flanked. I love that last-second grenade, though, in order to get the from the grave takedown.
Yeah, the tried and true. Though, with the grenade kind of losing a little bit of time, well, it's going to be gaining a little bit of time, about a quarter of a second more. A lot of these kind of frag grenade plays from the grave are going to be a little less, you know, prevalent in future games. But it's still going to work out for there in that you know, right in that situation.
It would be just a miracle for the win to come through, but Cool Dog with my favorite medal in the game, the pancake, using the repulsor to knock the player back into the wall, and that wall impact, it doesn't do much damage, but when it does enough damage to get the kill, you see that pancake medal, absolutely my favorite. I mean, it's a breakfast food, Frisco. You gotta love a medal named after a breakfast food.
As long as there's syrup included, I'm good to go.
A nice win in game number 1 here for the SUNY Canton Spartans. I wouldn't say it was an easy win, though. I think it was 50-40 at the end of it all, so about a 10-point lead there when all was said and done. But hey, a win is a win, especially when playoffs are on the line.
Oh. It just seems like a common kind of trend that's been happening for the past 3 weeks, though. It's like Post will have like a decent start on live fire, and then it just, you know, everything kind of turns to a certain point, and it's a little difficult to say what kind of like the stem like what's kind of stemming from that kind of problem, I guess. I would really like to see probably us go to streets or something like that, just like a completely different change of pace, maybe something a bit more close quarters, because we did find a lot of situations, especially near the end, where they were kind of put into like that far off green tower, very open space, and there's not a whole lot they can kind of do, especially when they have like the lower kind of ground leading into there. So maybe, you know, maybe they find more better luck in these close quarter situations.
Well, I think that you hit the nail on the head right there. What they were missing was the team fire. And I think that when they start off the game, everybody, you know, you spawn together, right? You're 4 on one side of the map, the other 4 on the other side of the map. So that team fire is kind of built in on the initial spawns, but being able to find that team fire in the mid to late game, it involves a lot of restraint, because off of respawn, your first instinct is to get back into the fight as quickly as possible, right? Like you want to go get revenge off of whoever killed you. You want to be back in the play as quickly as possible, but being able to have the restraint to make the smart play and not always just like the quickest play. And if Post can do that off of those respawns, slow down long enough to regroup and team fire, I think that that will show a different result at the end of the game.
We're going to see some oddball on recharge. How do you feel about oddball on recharge, Magick?
I love oddball. Recharge is historically my worst map. I don't know what it is. It's something about the camo spawn in the bottom middle, and it's open, right? Like I've heard it described as a pizza, right? Where the crust is the high ground around the whole outer edge, but all the goodies are in the middle that kind of want to draw you into that danger zone. And apparently I can't resist pizza because I always get caught out in the open on recharge. Oddball, on the other hand, really fun on this map because there's several places that you can make a good hold, and even just one spot on the map at the back of C where you can see some reset plays coming in.
When you were talking about making something, I thought you were gonna start talking about making a pepperoni pizza. Like that's a pepperoni right in there. You got your camo right there. You got your your commando up on there. Those are good pepperonis, you know.
The spicy pepperoni. that's what I will always think of recharge as, a pepperoni pizza from here on out. And we'll see if the players get lured into that the spicy pepperoni trap, or if they can maintain high ground. Right now it looks like a kill for kill trading out, a little bit of a lead in the slaying department from Canton Spartans, but Wirta on the Whirlpool is going to lay down some good damage, and it was enough to force them to drop that oddball.
Yeah, and that's all you can really ask for. It's like just prevent them from touching the ball as much as you can. Sometimes it's not about grabbing it right off the bat, but after I say that, Permish is going right in for it and able to find his way up into upper top hallway and kind of holding on to it in a decent position right now. Going to drop it to an opt for a battle rifle aggression though.
That was a smart play to grab oddball. Like, it seemed a little bit rushed, but they had won a round of slays, and that's when you want to take advantage of the objective time. Unfortunately, though, Permish is gonna find himself an enemy grenade, and watch this push through long haul, actually to the right. Wirta's not watching out. He's gonna be pretty stuck here. He could toss the ball out to mid, but there's the shots coming around from behind. And I love this little hop, skip, and a jump rotation if he can clear the corner. He's gonna toss the ball off to a teammate.
Zekrum's going to try and push on ball, and is going to get a triple kill. Wow. What a strong play, and going to lead up right behind that boy. Hopefully group up a little bit and hold on to that ball. And the tried and true in Whirlpool Dam in top of elevator.
Now here's what I'm interested to see, Frisco. Zakiram is obviously the Slayer, and he was, if not the lead Slayer in game one, was one of them. I want to see if he does lock down that objective, or if somebody else comes in, plays the objective, allows him to be free on the slaying. In the meantime, though, it looks like Promise is going to pick up a double kill, so really clearing out time. But I don't understand. Canton Spartans, they won the oddball. They're not getting any time until just now.
Well, just a second ago, there was almost a clean team sweep on Post. So Post is kind of dragging behind a little bit. It's just, they're in the lead. They're in the lead right now, but kind of like just general control. They kind of lost it for a second there. And now that boy's holding position, and Mydudesa trying to put down some decent cover fire, but it's going to get taken down by Zekrum in that close quarter situation.
Well, I'm expecting to see a lead change here, but we did see some really good plays from Mydudesa in game number one, and some more good plays here. He's sitting even 4-4, but I don't think even's gonna be quite enough. Zakiram is somehow staying alive. There's the drop down from Permish. And if I'm not mistaken, Permish might have also won over the camo. Yes, he did. This could be a huge advantage to breaking that defensive hold.
Permish looking low on shields right now, though, and going to get, yeah, kind of that stray fire coming from behind. Mydudesa is going to be pushing up, though. Let's take a look and see what he does with that.
Mydudesa's flanking around behind, but Wirta wins that fight cleanly. Now Zakiram is trapped. Did you see the plasma pistol there coming out from Wirta? And now we see some winning of slays here on the side of Post, and that's the team play. Look at Wirta and Mydudesa working together as a duo and making some really strong team plays.
Yeah, now Wirta is going to be kind of sticking back a little bit. Let Anonimal and Mydudesa kind of cover that area for him. Though Mydudesa is looking a little, well, was looking a little shoddy on shield right there, but backing off, gonna give a little bit of breathing room. And 1 second while I look at my cat off my keyboard. Sorry.
No problem. Mydudesa rushes in. He lands the melee, but he does get taken down by Cool Dog. We're going to see a shift of control on the oddball here. Permish, though, says, I'm not done just yet. He picks up a nice double kill, I think from across the map, actually. We see that the ball is still in the control of Canton Spartans with just a 1-point difference, and here comes the break. Wirta wants 1 kill. Anonimal not able to clean up the rest of that kill. That's going to leave Wirta in a tough position waiting for the respawners.
This has been a pretty steady game for Post right now. You know, it's they've lost the lead for one bit, but now they're kind of back there holding up that 12-point lead. And ball is going to be in neutral position right now. Zekrom is going to kind of live that interaction as well. Who just picked up ball? Dat boy picked up the ball. Oh, now he's dropped the ball.
That boy, the oddball holder. But I have to be honest, Zekrom really impressive as a player, winning the majority of his 1v1s. He's sitting at 15-5, and now also playing the role of objective holder and ball rotator. But see this toss, that's what I was looking for earlier. Dat boy knows, hey, listen, Zekrom is getting the slays. Let him be free to get the slays. I'll hang on to that objective, and that's just some smart team plays here on the side of the Spartans.
Whenever I see somebody drop the ball repeatedly on the ground like that, I always have the Globetrotter theme in my head, the whistle, the do 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 do. Like I don't know why I always think of that.
That's a 10 out of 10 demonstration of the theme song. Hey, I like it. I like it. That makes some tricky Globetrotter style plays right there.
Hey, you gotta have those in the back of your head. You know?
Oh, Promise though. Speaking of having a tool in the back of your head or in your toolkit, the shock rifle in the hands of Promise. The only promise he has is death and destruction for the opposing team.
A little bit of execution on the side too. Always gotta have that too. Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful. He got a nice double earlier with a shock rifle. Now he lines up a perfect. He has 1 shot left. He tries. I like the patience there, trying to line up the headshot, trying to get the most out of that final burst. Sword is in play though. This is something we were wondering about. Are we gonna see the sword in play? But I saw it there and it is dropped on the ground. Promise might make a rotation to pick it up, but he's gonna be happy with the BR to finish off the kill.
Post is going to kind of take the area when it comes to ball. Oh, nice back kill, dropping down on elevator, getting the back kill, and holding sword.
Huge play from Wirta there to just full send on the sword player, getting the back smack, but they have to deal with Zekrom, and he is not an easy player to take down. 19-6 right now, and he's not stopping. He has the sword guarding this doorway. Now, this is a chance for Post to be able to flank around through Whirlpool, but you see all players from Post are at the long hole or the control room side, and it would be a long rotation. They're not going to have time to rotate through. 5 seconds between the win on this first round.
Let's see if Wirta can kind of push up and force Zekrom out of that position. No sword in hand, not able to have sword in hand, and you know, they're gonna take it and go right back up to elevator. You know, we just been staying here the majority of the game. The tried and true.
Now this is dangerous though for Post. They need to play practically perfect Halo right now because 99 seconds for the Canton Spartans. If they break the hold just for a brief glimmer, that's going to be a GG. But you love to see that fumble coming through at literally the last second. Can Post defense hold off? Permish is certainly going to try and watch that repulsor in his back pocket. He uses it a little bit too early, a little bit out of range, but he does clean up with the melee.
This is definitely within the moment. It's just 10 seconds left.
Nice!
Wow.
That might have been it.
Yeah, right there. That was the play.
99. They get this round. Oh my goodness. The fumble play, and then Permish with the 2 kills at that top doorway for a full 40-second hold. Come back. You can't ask for a closer round 1. Literally, it was 99 all until that last second came through for the Eagles.
A pretty aggressive start coming out of Promise of Us. Gonna back off a little bit, and Permish is gonna clean that up. And then so somebody's gonna clean up Permish, and that's gonna be on Cool Dog. just everyone's feeling really scrappy right now, right off the start.
Yeah. Yeah, scrappy plays. I think it's what Recharge is known for. It's a little bit chaotic. Cool Dog helps out with Zekrom clean up that kill, and just another shout out to Zekrom. Not that he needs it, but he's sitting at 23 and 8, nearly triple the kills to deaths on that stat line. And Cool Dog now turning his attention to bottom control, providing some space and coverage for that first big objective time going to the Spartans.
I do like, because I will say, Cool Dog had the Needler in kind of the middle of everything, and I was like, oh, that's tough. That's real tough. I'm actually really, I'm glad to see him kind of pushed up, because kind of having Needler in the open like that is not good plays, and it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to kind of get anything from there.
Yeah, it's very difficult to use a Needler at point blank, especially when you're being shot at from multiple sides. You really need to focus on one target in order to get the full effect of that pink mist. We did see a team wipe there on the side of the Canton Spartans, actually. Post coming out with some nice slays, but man, look at this answer back though. The Canton Spartans getting nearly a team wipe of their own. Permish is first alive, and this is the play I'm talking about. Permish needs to know that his team is 3 down. He needs to fall back, wait for those respawns, and make a combined push.
Yeah. And now we're in Hydro. Kind of gonna make the circles around Hydro a little bit. Gonna kind of watch your corners, get some decent positions. Watch out a little bit from behind cover, and just kind of poke out your battle rifle a little bit once in a while. Nice, just generally good positioning.
Yeah, that boy being the objective player, already at 85 seconds of objective time between the first 2 rounds, and maybe not doing much in the slaying department, but I tell you what, when you're the objective holder, you're adding so much value to your team. And now Zekrom and Promise being the 2 lead slayers are going to work. Zekrom sets up that play with a shock rifle. Promise of Us picks up another double kill, and they're just clearing out as they make their way back to the oddball spawn.
Not quite getting the backstab, but able to kind of clean up with the second hit. On a killing spree for Zekrom right now. Really like this shock rifle camo combo. And that is going to take another one right on Anonimal. Wow.
Didn't quite get the perfect, but he got enough damage that he could clean it up with that melee finish. And it does look like right now Zekrom does win over the oddball as well. Wirta's kind of pushing across from glass, but gonna meet Zekrom here in a little 1v1. No, Wirta's already injured, trying to play for his life. And Zekrom with a repulsor play, flanking around behind, cleaning up the kill. That's a great use of the utility.
He was not satisfied with ball control. He wanted that action directly. He just left it behind, and it's totally safe after leaving it right behind. I love it.
He's got a little bit of everything to work with, plenty of frag grenades, and he's just kind of causing havoc. Unfortunately, though, Promise is taken down. Some good team fire there coming out from Post University, but Zekrom with a sword, this is a thing of nightmares.
Ooh. And the reflector. Oh, wow. Mydudesa's got ball. But, having that reflector sword combo is so good, because it's just... What can you really counter sword with at that point? It's just so tough. Though, the buff did allow you to do trades now, right?
Yeah, trades are possible now with the sword, which is why I think it's not like GA'd so much. I don't know. I still, from what I've heard from the pros, I think it is still GA'd in pro circuit. It'll be interesting when we actually get to season 2 of the HCS pro scene. But I think for now, pretty much sword, from the looks of it, is back in play. I'd be interested to see as well if the Mangler is going to be used more.
I know that would be very interesting to see, because it's like you want to see the full kit of your sandbox utilized.
Yes.
It makes the game the most interesting, but at the same time, you don't want things to be like completely flooded with one option versus anything else.
True. Yeah, and I think that was the main issue with the Mangler, was that it was just too much stronger than everything else for it to not be a power weapon, with how available it was and how many of them are, how much ammo it has, everything pretty much for the Mangler. So we haven't seen any Manglers in play yet that I'm aware of. The ball is being fought over here at the bottom of B platform. It's just a tough spot to be able to rotate away from. You could grab a grapple if Wirta jumps up to his right, use a grapple to kind of sneak the ball away, but instead he's going to just push it head on and gets a nice little bounce of the oddball there. Might make it a little easier for him to sneak away to B stairs, but Promise of Us jumps up to the top of stacks and cleans up the kill.
And going after Anonimal now, but Anonimal is going to clean up the kill on Promise of Us. Let's see if he can rotate up to that boy, but no. Going to get covered by Zekrom. Zekrom is covering so many bases right now. Look at that KD, man. Look at that.
I mean, that kill was incredible from Zekrom, but I think it also have to give credit to Promise of Us, who was taken down in that fight, because Zekrom pre-naded that doorway. That's from the team comm. So once Promise of Us was taken down, he's not going, or like exasperated frustration. Instead, he's using that time while he's dead to give his teammate information, as seen by that pre-nade from Zekrom. So even without hearing the team comms, tell you that Canton Spartans are pretty locked in on the communication, and with that, they're gonna tie this game of oddball up. We're going into a round 3.
Oh geez, it's do or die for this again. You know, that's gonna be the theme for tonight. Every sort of interaction now is just going to be do or die.
Yeah.
Let's see how they do. Throwing that preemptive grenade, gonna take a little bit of damage, but is gonna clean up the kill on Wirta, and going into another interaction with Mydudesa. Mydudesa's on the run, gonna chase him down. Not able to kind of follow up though. Anonimal will clean up the kill though.
I love it. I love my dudes not overextending to chase down that fight. Instead, teammate cleans it up, and there's another cleanup kill from Permish this time. So this is what we need to see from the post-University Eagles. Now they're team firing. They're cleaning up each other's kills. And I tell you what, a team that can fight together is a deadly force. Right there, Permish gets from the grave again, but Wirta's left in a little bit of a fight with Zekrom. Anonimal coming through with yet another clutch play. I have to say, in this game, Anonimal has been Captain Clutch.
Yeah. Permish is going to be pushing back onto Cool Dude. Cool Dog. This entire time I thought his name was Cool Dude, but and gonna go around the corner, gonna follow up on Cool Dog, but is going to be taken down. Cool Dog is going to be going up to the top of elevator, gonna seek in the kill on Anonimal, and then push up right behind Ball.
Promise of Us got the kill on Permish, which saved Cool Dog's life, and then in hand, Cool Dog was able to go and chase down 1 kill and then make it 2. That repulsor going to work yet again. Cool Dog is still at a decent amount of health. He's now caught in the back corner. That repulsor! Oh, return to sender! That grenade had his name on it, and he rejected it. Got a kill of his own.
I love it. I love those interactions so much. The reflector is just... so nice.
It's beautiful.
I especially love the interactions off the ledge with it. It's just such a unique weapon, and it's just, you know, such a good option in so many situations.
Yeah, I mean, Repulsor can really do it all. You can deflect grenades, you can slam people into walls, you can create space, especially if you have an incoming sword player. You can even launch people off the map and get a little mind the gap action, or you can use it for mobility to jump to high ground. I love the Repulsor for this reason. It just has so much flavor and so much customization. You can really do pretty much anything with that utility.
Yeah. I'm especially also loving the amount of plasma pistol we've been seeing in this match.
True.
Using it in so many decent situations up close. Just kind of cleaning up right after it too. Reminds me of the good old days in so many ways.
I wonder if these teams have not, if they've GA'd Commando, because Commando spawns there at Attic, and you just saw, I believe it was Mydudesa just running right past it, not picking it up. I haven't seen a Commando in play, and it is really strong right now, so I'm wondering if maybe the teams had an agreement to not use it, but either way, I'm not really sure what the case is for that to not be part of the equation. A nice little lead here from Post University. They have 60 points right now to the 18 from the Canton Spartans, and Permish just milking a couple of seconds here on the edge, waiting for a chance to reset. A beautiful 45-second lead.
Yeah, really love the denial of, you know you're not going to be coming out of the situation alive. Might as well just deny them possession of the ball.
Absolutely.
It's just, you know, then they got to work for, because I think they were all grouped up on that side of the map anyway, so now it's a matter of, like, they have to regain control of that side of the map when, you know, Post was already kind of spawned in that situation. It's going to be very tough to kind of come back from that, especially with this lead with Post right now.
Yeah, absolutely. A great reset play there coming through. And it says 46, by the way. I have to correct my math. I was off by about a second there. Mydudesa wins a pivotal 1v1. That's going to give them control. Look, 3 are down right now for Canton Spartans. This is the chance now for Post, and they didn't waste any time. They grabbed the oddball. Wirta rotated it back. There's the final player is Zekrom, but they just rotate away from him. They know he's there, but instead of pushing that fight, they rotate the ball back to this very comfortable elevator spot where they clutched up round 1.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you're doing this good in this area, you might as well just stick with it. There's no reason to kind of change the game plan if that's what kind of got you the win in the first place, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think Wirta was making lemonade out of lemons there. You see the 2 players rushing through. He does come up with a double kill before being taken down. The control of the oddball is going to shift, but at least you're forcing 2 players back to the respawn screen and not letting them set up that defense. trade a kill for a kill. We got a little bit of 3v3 action. Permish, not surprising, on the flank, chases down Zekrom, looking for the double. He turned his back to where the triple was. Might have missed out a call out or some comms there, just trying to escape with his life. Cool Dog last alive in that brawl, trying to rotate the ball. Now look at, they're going to take it back to the back of C.
Yeah, again, just going to work that area right around the turbine right there, or in Hydro. It's going to be, you know, I guess each team has their kind of comfort spots. This specifically is going to be Canton's comfort spot. The ball is going to be denied for them. Oh no, rotating right back.
Yeah, they were so set up on that reset that they picked up the ball pretty much instantly, but it looks like Post University are taking advantage. They're collapsing. Even if they can get to the ball, it's pretty out in the open here on the recharge spawn. So great cover here. Mydudesa actually body blocking in that doorway to allow the oddball holder to get back away with his life. Anonimal is now putting up the objective numbers, and looks like all players now from the side of Post are in the slays. A nice double kill. Mydudesa is clutching up on these plays.
I know, there was so much worth in that situation. That was a tough situation with all these grenades coming in and still able to kind of, you know, get the double kill with those melee interactions, putting a lot of worth in that situation, especially at this end game where now it's only 8 points left for Post to kind of switch it up.
Pretty much do or die at this point. Mydudesa trying to survive, gets another critical kill, but is taken down. Wirta ready, gets one. Zekrom on the run right now. Wirta forced to reload though, and now ducking behind the batteries to try to stay alive. A little bit of help from Anonimal. Much better team plays here from Post University, even as Zekrom though comes out with that double kill.
Just gotta switch that ball for 5 more seconds, but Post is having a tough time getting to it, and now it's almost a team wipe twice in a row. With only one player being around for a couple instances there. Post is actually having a little bit of a tough time getting onto that ball. Zekrom is holding onto it and gonna rotate right back in the hallway.
Zekrom, are you kidding me? 56 kills on the board right now. I mean, this has been a long game. All 3 rounds really putting to work, but Zekrom now at 57 slays. I don't know if I've ever seen a kill count that high. Absolutely wild. Mydudesa tries to grab the oddball, gets maybe a second, but honestly, needed to get a kill or 2 before rushing down, but Wirta places a beautiful plasma grenade. Gonna be enough for a double kill. Dapaway's in trouble, isolated and alone, trying to rotate to the back of C to reset. He stopped short, and that is going to be a GG's here as Post clean up those final points.
That was so interesting because there were for a second there, I thought this was going to be a reversal of the first game where, you know, Can had 99 and then Post kind of completely reversed it with a 20-point or over a 20-point shift. I'm pretty sure. I thought we were going to see that situation right there, but not going to work out in that. And Post is going to take game 2.
I think it was actually a 40 or 45 point shift. I think it was 55-99 if my memory serves me, when they got that fumble and then turned around round 1. But with that, you know, last second, that last ditch effort, it paid off. So credit to Post for playing to the whistle, as it were, not giving up that round 1. And with it, they do tie up this series 1-1. I tell you what, Frisco, these are the matchups you love. Both of these teams coming in 3-3. Now the series is tied 1-1 with playoff position on the line. Playoff qualification, rather, is on the line.
Yeah, you know, I love it. I love having, you know, game 5 situations, keeping it nice and close, having the most bang for your buck, I guess, in those instances.
That's true.
Now, looking at the score, we can kind of clearly see who our objective players were. Boy at 232 and Wirta at 233, keeping it real close between the two.
Yeah, could you scroll over to the right? I want to see kills as well, but I like that almost tie there between the two primary objective players. I mean, I still can't get over the Zekrom 58. Look at his KDA, 40.7. It just goes to show you that you could be doing everything right. You can be popping off, but if you're not securing the objective, it's not enough. So if you're looking at the stats, it's pretty shocking that Post came out with that win.
I know, but it's like, that's kind of the thing. It's like, you're getting all these kills, but I mean, even if you're just getting constant kills, like what is the worth? What kind of objectives did you kind of like deny or kind of gain from these kills? You gotta constantly think about that. Like, you can be a lone wolf and like kind of pick up all these kills wherever you want, but if you're not getting those, you know, really secure like objective plays, there's not a whole lot of point to them.
No, I agree. It's which kills matter, and I think Mydudesa was the player I was crediting for some of those high impact and important timing on the kills. One thing to
And
know
with a
as well,
negative.
Post University kind of picking it up on the assist account as well. Promise on the side of Canton also getting 26 assists and 45 kills. Can't discredit that at all. But it is reminding me of last week because Boise State, I remember they had two players who were very, very strong and were kind of running the game over Post University. So now if we're looking at this matchup, Canton has Promise of Us and Zekrom, obviously their main slayers, but Post University are able to find that response, I think, quicker than what we saw from them last week.
Yeah, I will say Can does seem to be complementing each other a decent amount in some ways because, our definitely our kill players are Promise of Us and Zekrom, just like you said, and Dat Boy was the objective player in that case. So it's like a good complementary with each other. It's primarily two players kind of keeping defensive capabilities onto a primary objective player. But in this case, it just wasn't enough. It's not enough in that situation. You need to get the decent, the very specific worth kills. Now, Post kind of keeping it a bit more even in the kill department between each other. 34, 27, 31, 27. It seems like just a bit more even amongst everybody, with only one player kind of coming out with a positive KD, three players with negatives, of course. And it's just, it's so interesting to see how Post kind of comes out on top with those negative KD situations. It's really funny and interesting.
Yeah, I actually, because I'm such a numbers nerd, I actually added up the number of slays. And from the two teams here, the Canton Spartans actually outslayed by 33 kills, which is a significant number, especially considering the fact that they came out with the loss. And even if you're looking across at the scoreboard, they had more time on the clock, right? Because that first round, it was 99 to 100. It's only a 1 point difference, but that's a round, right? Winning that last second is the only second that counts. So if you're just looking at the scoreboard, it's pretty mind-boggling that Post University were able to clutch it up. But definitely love to see how they play oddball and how they really claw their way back. That first round was quite a testament to their resilience.
Yeah. It's, I kind of hope we see Oddball again a little bit. I want to see the run back. Yeah. I like Oddball so much.
I love Oddball, man. There's some drama right there. I mean, the fumble and then the full 45-second hold, absolutely incredible. So Oddball definitely creates some dramatic moments. But for those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. You make sure to follow Post University Esports as well on the YouTube and on the Twitter. There's even a public Discord you can join if you're interested. We're here tonight with the Halo season, and we're nearing the end of the season where this game is actually to qualify for playoffs for either team, both tied at that 3-3 record and needing to get that fourth win. So a lot on the line for both of these teams, but there's also other game titles that are broadcast here on this channel, so make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. And, we're really glad to have you here as we gear up for game 3. I think a lot is going to be determined in this next match.
Yeah, it's like generally Post does seem to have like a bit of a momentum problem from the previous 2 weeks, but it seems like they're kind of solving that as we go along in this match, right? And in this match, let's see if they can really hold on to it, because Post, they kind of have a tough time making shifts, but they have the shift now. They have it in their favor. It's just a matter of can they keep it.
Yeah, Halo is so much a game of momentum, so definitely coming off a win is going to give you just that little tiny bit of an advantage. So hopefully the Post University Eagles can ride off that momentum, but I feel like game 3, even though it is a best of 5, it's not going to be over yet in game 3, but it is going to kind of set the pace for the rest of this series. So I'm interested to see where this game, takes us as far as like map and mode combo, but also if Post can maintain that kind of high that they're riding right now.
Yeah, and I believe in this season, if winner picks the map, and then from there the loser picks game mode. So that's if that's the case, that's a very important kind of pick for the winner of Post. And it's just because you get to pick how you want to position yourself, because Halo is a game all about positioning and kind of shifting in and out of cover, and how you're kind of grouping up with your team. If they can pick that comfort pick for them, how they want to specifically position, how they specifically want to rotate in and out. That's such a huge advantage.
Yeah, there's lots of adjustments that can be made, but being able to have the map of choice is definitely another advantage going into this game number 3. So looking to see if we're back. Live Fire Strongholds. Okay, Live Fire we know is a popular map, especially for post university, so we shouldn't be all that surprised. But yeah, we're back for Strongholds.
Gotta love it. It's like, you know, like I was talking about before, Live Fire, just probably a really nice, it's just really nice neutral map. You can have them all, you have really close quarters areas, you have wide open areas.
Yeah.
It makes certain, you know, strongholds a bit more easier to hold than others, but can you rotate in and out, and can you hold those positions based on, you know, the different kind of terrain on the map?
You know, we touched briefly on the plasma pistol, but I'm reading over the notes. The increased base shot damage went from 20 to 28. That's almost a 50% increase, which is incredible. And then the charge shot goes faster. Velocity moved from 20 to 35 degrees per second, so almost doubled on the speed. So pretty significant changes from that the plasma pistol, rather, and a part of a reason why we're going to be seeing more of it. And it's in the hands of Promise of Us right now.
That was a team wipe. Poor Post, kind of not able to kind of get a kind of a break there. Between the heat wave interactions and everything else, it's looking a little tough for Post right off the start here.
Yeah, and Mydudesa comes just one burst short, couldn't land that final headshot to get the takedown onto Promise of Us. So disappointing. You see Zekrom is kind of locking down the nest. Wirta trying to flush him out with some nice placed grenades. And now here's the 2 main Slayers on the side of the Canton Spartans. One goes down, Zekrom on the run, huge takedowns, and hopefully we can see some zone control coming through from Post off of those plays.
Yeah, but right now Post is kind of getting a little grouped up onto the bottom of on Green Bend right now. They need to rotate out of here and into something a bit more manageable, probably in like garage or something. Because this is kind of like a repeat of game 1. They're getting stuck in this very kind of tough position. You can get grenaded on both sides, and there it goes down on a double kill coming out of Wirta.
Nice grenade from Wirta. He's looking for the triple, has the repulsor in hand, and is trying to capture this zone. The assist there comes through, and Anonimal does clean up that final kill, and so now we see A and B both in the hands. But this is great. They're not as clumped up. They're not all at the back of B. Some of them are holding the sandbags position, which is great. But they also need to keep an eye out on that nest side push. But the attention is shifting to Overshield, spawning in just 3 seconds.
Oh, can he snag it though? It's in a really open position. Gonna opt down right behind cover. But that boy is gonna snag that Overshield.
And that Overshield. I love it. All 4 players here right now on the side of the Canton Spartans are rotating together. They get the they get B. They have the majority of zones, but they're not happy. They're pushing for that triple cap. It really looks like a revenge tour coming out from the Canton Spartans after losing a close game. Repulsor back in action, creates space, and that boy cleans it up with some BR play. A brief triple cap. Post pretty quick to respond though as they capture C.
Now we're looking at Mydudesa, gonna kind of look cross map onto B, trying to kind of prevent a little bit of a push coming from that area as well, because we have seen Canton kind of pushing that clockwise rotation on this map. Gonna try and kind of, you know, deflect that a little bit. Gonna flank right behind Cool Dog though, kind of get a little bit on that action into green.
I wanted to see Mydudesa using the plasma pistol there, but instead sticks with the BR. Is taken down by the team fire. But here comes some pressure from Post University Eagles onto the A side. You saw that snipe come through. It looks like a body shot, but no, Post was not able to complete the captures. They're still going to be losing points as Canton Spartans get some more control. They're creeping up on that 100-point line.
Permish is going to go down in that interaction, but it's going to be a trade. Mydudesa trying to put a little bit of pressure, but is going to retreat back down into hallway. We're going to be pushing right on B on Green Bend. But gonna Heat Wave. Heat Wave acting like a sniper? What's going on here?
The Heat Wave, there was 2 players there. One with the Heat Wave, one with a sniper. The Heat Wave definitely did some damage, but the sniper is the one credited with the kill. So yeah, caught between a rock and a hard place in that situation.
You love and hate to see it at the same time. But we do have Permish going to be pushing up on. Ooh, nice little reflector jump right there.
Love it. I love it.
Pushing him to C.
Yeah, and an assist to add to that as well. So just using that equipment for some mobility. And now we see that Post are creeping up on a triple capture of their own. They do get the captures, but it looks like C is going to flip unless some miracle from Permish can clean it out. They get some good damage, but you see that overshield, and Promise has the heat wave in hand, just doing some huge damage. So instead, majority of zones were in the hands of Canton. Anonimal has an important fight here to win, to get this capture come through, and he was at about 98% of that hill capture. The double team from the Canton Spartans came through and took him down.
Yeah, you need to be grouped up with as many of your teammates as possible in those situations. You need somebody to cover you in those positions, because especially right here in tower, that base of tower is pretty wide open depending on how you want to approach it from. It's so hard to just capture that on your own. I kind of feel bad for Anonimal in that situation.
And Anonimal does have some help right now. He and Permish are team firing, but they're also receiving team fire. Promise of Us gets both kills just using this one box for cover. Finally is taken down, but in a trade. So 3 kills in the hands of Promise of Us. He's leading the way 18-7 right now, and that's a big factor in this huge lead, nearly 100-point lead that we see from the Canton Spartans.
Yeah, and I do like Mydudesa kind of pushing for that territory, but that is going to flag down Canton to kind of, you know, rotate right back in that area and not able to kind of capture it in that way. You know, it's tough. Yeah. It's like you want to make some progress for your teammate, but it's like, do you want to leave yourself open in that situation? Like, do you want to leave yourself exposed and like flag people down to like let you know where exactly you are? Yeah.
There's a lot of decisions to make, and then, you know, having a plan of action can really be the difference maker. Wirta's trying to defend this overshield, does get one takedown in a 1v2 situation, so give some credit for that, but Promise of Us is camping on that overshield spawn. This overshield win might just spell game over on the side of Post University, and a mind the gap from Zekrom, just adding a little bit of flavor with the use of that repulsor, throwing somebody off the map, and now he's challenging Permish, but it looks like he's not quite sure where on the zone Permish is. There's a pancake coming through, a beautiful, and the Mind the Gap, back-to-back repulsor medals.
Bye, Wirta, I miss you already. But yeah, it's, you know, yeah, Mind the Gap. It's you really hate. It's like that's been like the theme so far. We've seen so many kills with those situations, really creating that space.
Yep, Cool Dog uses a repulsor yet again, creates space for a kill. We do see, though, Post University has the majority zone. Mydudesa goes for the melee, but not close enough. You know, wasn't able to connect on the melee. Promise of Us wins out another 1v1 and has help now. And, oh, man, a triple cap Frisco. This is not looking good.
No, you hate to see it. It's just... I guess what does Post do to kind of rotate back into this? Like, how do they kind of recapture, you know, 2 of these, let alone, you know, one of these, let alone 2? Yeah. Cool Dog is going to be pushing on Permish. Trying, you know, maybe that's how we get the start, though. You just really try to hold tower right now, really focus on tower, and then work from there. But it's like by the time you kind of get that kind of setup going again, it's going to be a little too late. At 229, Canton is looking to really take this relatively soon.
Yeah, Permish got a couple of nice kills there and had some good mobility trying to jump up and over that box. It did allow for B to be captured, and now A also. So you're asking, like, what does Post University do? I think they showed you. They won out one zone, they won out the second. It's gonna be a nearly impossible comeback, but I would have said the same thing in round 1 of Oddball of game number 2. So if there's a team that can mount a nearly impossible comeback, it has to be right here, right now. But it looks like that overshield is going into the hands of Promise of Us. With that, he should be able to get this zone capture on A side, give them that advantage in the zones, and finish off the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, 229. Right now, Canton recapturing A.
Wow.
And down, is he getting interrupted?
Yeah. Honestly, very little use out of that overshield push. Like, I thought that was okay. It looks like a GG's, but Post University are proving to be scrappy. They need to win this fight now on B side. Mydudesa with a huge flank. I've seen that exact rotation pay off before, and I love to see it again from Mydudesa.
Yeah, Post looking pretty decent right now. Able to really holding on to these two spots right now. Can they maintain it though for such an extended period of time?
Yeah, you see Wirta there. He knew that he was getting shot in the back, but he was desperating to be, because if he got a touch on it after clearing it, that would have reset the zone, and they really needed that. So even though it looked like, Wirta, what are you doing? You're being shot in the back. It was the smart play to make. It just didn't quite work. They need to win B over just 8 seconds rather, between the Canton Spartans winning this game, and promises us here versus Permish, this could be the 1v1, but that boy comes through.
That was such an unfortunate interaction for Canton. They will, never mind, they're gonna take it. I didn't even notice that the point was taken. My bad. But
yeah, well, there was a 1v1 there between Permish and Promise of Us, I believe, but then that boy rotated through sandbags, was able to clean up the kill on Permish, and that was what won over that capture for the Canton Spartans. So it was a valiant effort there from Post University, but it was too little too late.
Let's go back to Oddball. Let's just go back to Oddball Post. You had it right there. You know, let's try and get that going again. I will say, it does seem like, based on the previous matches that I've seen out of Post, it seems like their strongest game type is Oddball. I've seen them win the most out of that. I would like to see that shift back. Maybe onto something like Streets, change it up like a little bit.
Ooh,
yeah. You always gotta love seeing some little bit of Streets play, you know?
I would love Oddball Streets, but I'm also thinking Aquarius CTF. I like a good CTF game, Aquarius. We do know that, however, that the SUNY Canton Spartans are going to be the ones picking the map. Obviously, if it was up to Post, we'll see them pick Live Fire again and again, but I don't know about the Canton Spartans as well to see what their map of choice is going to be. We can keep our fingers crossed for Streets, though. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. But look at all of these captures coming out from SUNY Canton. Cool Dog really coming out with that full 10 captures.
Yeah.
I wonder what the totals are. Can you do like the math out for this? I'm not good at
Sure.
the mental math.
Yeah, it looks like 33 for Canton, and then 12, 15, 22 on the side of Post.
An entire 11, geez. And
yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and it's just a lot more quality stuff there coming out of SUNY in that previous game. Let's see the kills.
I think the thing with SUNY in that game was very even across the board as far as it slays. All 4 players going positive. Promise of Us and Zekrom still the 2 lead slayers. Those 2 are they're a menace right now, and it's a tough thing for Post University because I feel like the 2 best players on the map are Promise of Us and Zekrom. So in a 1v1, you need to assume that if all things are equal, they're going to win. So what you need to do is shift that advantage, right? If you're Post University, you're down 1-2 in the overall series, you know you're up against 2 incredible slayers. You need to fight hard for every advantage. And that can look like a few different things. It can look like team shooting, right? Turn it into a 2v1. It can look like map positioning where you have high ground or you have cover to work with, or it can come down to the utilities on the map, whether that's equipment or weapons. But in this last game, we also saw that the Canton Spartans had a lot of the overshield control as well. Even though Post University was challenging for that overshield, they weren't winning out those importantly timed slays right before that overshield spawn. So whichever map we're going to, if it was Streets, for example, right before rocket spawn is when you need to win the slays.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if, Post is more at an advantage when they dictate the positioning themselves, because I'm thinking why was it such a shift with something like this? Maybe it's because you're kind of forced into certain positions because of those territories that you need to capture. Yeah. And maybe not being able to shift that kind of not being able to shift that kind of objective is something that Post probably may need to work on in the future. But it's it's maybe they would do better in something that does have an actual moving objective, just like a CTF, something where you can kind of dictate where that specific item will go.
Sure.
And things of that sort, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good perspective to have. And when it came down to Oddball, Post University is one of the best teams when it comes to Oddball. So maybe having that centralized focus is really all that they need to gain that advantage.
But we are going back to strongholds, though, on Aquarius. So, yeah, half of
Wait, there's no such thing as Aquarius strongholds. I mean, yeah, it's not a ranked map in mode combo. Aquarius is only Slayer and Capture the Flag. So unless they're like really going off the book, I think there's a misclick here. I'm thinking they forgot to change the mode, and it's going to be a CTF or a Slayer on Aquarius. But
we'll
see what happens.
They did. I think they did have a chat just now with something about resetting.
Yeah, because the strongholds doesn't exist on Aquarius. Like I don't even know where the zones spawn. I guess there was that one mode, Total Control, that did have 3 zones. So I mean, it's like the map does technically have zones, but it's never played as a stronghold. So that's why you see Aquarius so much less in the any official rotation, because it only has 2 modes that are played on it, Slayer and CTF, versus maps like Livefire, Streets, Recharge, which have 4 modes total if you count King of the Hill as well.
Yeah, something's definitely up. Sometimes you just gotta watch Mydudesa do the laps around.
That's right. Sometimes they're actually going to play go-kart racing, and they're just going to run circles around the map, and then whichever team rounds back to their base first wins.
I miss race from I think it was original Halo. I miss it where you have we're in the Warthogs with the rocket launcher. I think it was.
Oh yeah.
I miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see a lot of those type of modes coming back now with the release of Forge. There's already been a lot of chaos happening, but it's just going to be exponentially growing from here on out with some wacky fun modes. Whether they add it to an action pack or some other playlist where it's a variety of chaos, that's what I want to see. I want to see an action pack. I want to queue up and it just be shoddy snipes and, rocket hogs and all that chaos.
Some of my I love that stuff. Some of my fondest memories from Halo 2 back in the day was just doing Halo 3 when we had Foundry. I always just doing the little obstacle courses they would always make. It's you each take a turn going through it. That was some of the most fun I had. And then you always try to throw grenades to try to mess each other up. Just
so fun.
I'm so excited for all of that to kind of come back, and especially in a game like Infinite where you have things like grapple hook and Repulsor that can kind of really interact with all of these different items. It's going to be so interesting now.
Well, one of the earliest Forge modes that's already become popular is Repulsor Soccer. So it's very similar to Griff Ball back in the day, with the gravity hammers.
Yeah.
But then instead, it's just repulsors, and there's the orb that's the soccer ball. So you repulse. You can repulse people into walls to get pancake medals. You can repulse the soccer ball into the goal. You can repulse to defend, etc. But Repulsor Soccer is already gaining very rapidly in popularity, which is fun to see.
We need match-made soccer, man. We need match-made soccer. It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to hop back in. I haven't had time lately. I haven't had time in the past week, but I really want to hop back in and kind of test out and kind of see what some of these Forge maps. I don't see the gameplay anymore. Yeah, what happened?
There we go.
Do I need to?
We're not in the group with them anymore.
What the heck?
Because they had to disband after changing things.
Okay. What the heck?
So I don't know if they sent you a new invite or something to get into the next game.
I can't even leave.
It's not letting you leave game.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, got it.
Nice.
I probably should pay attention to the screen more while I'm talking.
No, it's okay. I just had picked up on that. I was like, And so hopefully they'll send a new invite for the next game.
I thought he just did. This should be the invite for it. Ah, there we go. Got it. Nice. Okay, perfect.
Beautiful. And then if you switch to Observer or the host can, and then beautiful. Okay, look at Aquarius. It is CTF. That was the one question. Is it CTF or is it going to be Slayer? But I was hoping for CTF. Interesting. This is game number 4. Right now, 2-1. Canton Spartans have the lead post-university. Their backs are against the wall. Their playoff lives are on the line, or their shot at playoffs, rather, is on the line. I want them to come back and win this game. I want to see a game 5.
We can only hope. We can only hope for a game 5. Please treat us with a game 5. We really need it.
That would be the first that I've seen this season. I don't know if you've seen any game 5s yet. We saw game 4 last week, which was nice. The week before that was a 3-0 for post. Yeah. But I haven't seen any game 5s yet.
They did take a round of oddball, but that was it for that week.
Okay.
Can we just count it as like a 0.5 or something?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. This is like at least half a game, maybe a quarter. 0.25. I'll give you 0.25.
There we go. I like it. I love it.
Well, here we go, CTF Aquarius. Now, this game will play either 2-5 captures or the 12-minute mark. And honestly, on Aquarius, it's about 50-50, whether it's going to play for time or if it's going to play for captures. So both are going to be equally important. The active camo spawning at top and center is going to be kind of that lure to draw everybody to the middle of the map. And Slays right now already going in the favor of Canton.
Yeah, that was a team wipe if I ever saw it. We did see a little bit of commando play coming out of Wirta, though. For the first time, I think. Oh, and that is going to be down for Cool Dog. Wirta is going to try and reclaim it, but Dat Boy is going to try and grab it and, you know, kind of reset it a little bit, keep it out on the field a little bit longer, but...
That's huge. That's huge. That allowed to keep the flag alive. And now here comes the run from Zekrom. Already has 6 slays on the board, 1 assist, and now trying to add 1 capture as well. I don't want to jinx him on the whole like hasn't died yet thing, but like also he hasn't died yet. So there's the capture coming through, and Zekrom is on fire.
Oh, you jinxed him. You jinxed him.
I did.
That was your fault.
But not before the capture. Okay.
That was, again, almost a clean team wipe on Post. Mydudesa was the only one living at that moment. It's tough. Post kind of needs to, you know, play these positions a little bit better around corners, kind of, you know, force these interactions. As I would say, let them kind of come to you and a bit more in some interactions.
Yeah. Did see Wirta with some more commando play there, dealing a lot of damage, but unfortunately not able to stay alive. That boy is pushing the base again. Met, though, a nice kill there from Permish. Now, here's the test for Permish. We know he can win those slays, but sometimes he gets a little impatient on the recovery, and he also needs to be aware because that commando is not loaded. I think he only has 6 bullets in it right now. As he swaps over to it, he's going to find out really quick. There's the reload coming through. Gets Promise of Us down to 1 shot, and I think it's going to be enough for that reset to come through.
Yeah, Mydudesa nice and clean on that reset. Abe kind of covering a little bit back and forth. Just avoiding just enough fire to kind of take it back. Going to interact with Promise of Us.
Nice.
Promise of is going to go down quick.
Ooh, that's 3 down. 3 down now for Canton. Zekrom is last alive, and, you know, don't count him out yet. He's capable of a team wipe on his own, but it looks like this is the chance for Post University. They need to make a counter push, but I love this holding top mid first, trying to win out some slays, but no, not able to stay alive.
Yeah, Promise of Us is going to be pushing low on right side. On planters.
Yes.
And gonna kind of cover Zekrom on his approach. Let's take a look at Zekrom for a little bit. Gonna get shot from fine, but Zekrom with all those kills in the previous game. Now he's the objective guy, kind of switching roles completely around.
And allowing Promise of Us was really going out there and getting some slays. Cool Dog also putting a slay on the board. Like to see it, and Zekrom runs the flag about 80% of the way and then drops us off where Dat Boy dunks it right, and he dunks that flag.
Yeah, it's 2-0 over Post right now. Post has got to make some sort of play at this point. Something's got to kind of happen to kind of turn this around. You do not want the momentum to keep going for Canton right now.
Yeah, 3-0 is pretty demoralizing, right? 2 down, you still have a little glimmer of hope, and Wirta makes a nice play. Look at that, Wirta coming through with a double kill. Now trying to stay alive in the back of the base. A little bit of patience here. That commando is ready for pickup again. Maybe Permish gonna put it back in his hands. We saw it earlier. Watch out though, Promise of Us, Dynamo's at the ready. Permish just ran across that connector, and Promise of Us is gonna chase with those Dynamos.
Yeah, just a little bit of a avoiding situation there, just a little bit. Zekrom is going to be covering high with the triple kill.
Oh no!
Going to try and help out Promise of Us move that flag over, covering out on Permish. Permish trying to kind of return fire, but Zekrom is willing to just kind of back off and just regain some shields. Can I keep at least a little modicum of kind of stage control?
Oh no! You saw Permish gets a kill, but it says too little, too late. That's the 3rd capture. Zekrom gets a double kill, and now looking for another. The the thruster rather play almost worked out, but instead the grenade's gonna find him. So honestly, I think a kill on Zekrom at this point should count as at least 2, if not 3 points. Permish trying to stay alive, deals out a lot of damage, but nobody's there to clean up that boy who's in the back of Blue Fridge.
Clean up that boy. Yeah,
it's a jingle.
Yeah, everything's always got to be a jingle. I always try to make a little bit out of it. Flag is going to get returned, but with that boy though, and going to make the push right through Blue Courtyard. Going to group up with Promise of Us. Let's see if they can kind of get in there. Going to do some crossfire against Wirta, but that situation is going to, you know, not result in a whole lot.
Yeah, Promise of Us is 15 and now 7 as Permish wins out a crucial 1v1, and Permish also the assist on the flag carrier, going for a reset. Now, getting a return is all well and good, but they need to have a counter push themselves because they still are looking at that 0 on the scoreboard.
Right now?
Dynamo, pause it, Permish. Sorry, I'm sorry. He has 2 dynamos, and there's 3 players right there. Like, please throw them.
Yeah, it's you hate to see it. Sometimes it's like you just kind of forget what you have, what you should be doing.
We see more than he does too. So like I understand.
True. Yeah. Zekrom is gonna get the cleanup on Permish. Can he get the cleanup on Wirta? And he is, but Anonimal's right another above him. Does Anonimal where? Yeah, Anonimal is right on that, ready to get the cleanup.
Good. Seeing some good moments here from Eagles, but again, it needs to turn into a full flag run. Anonimal's kind of doubling back, checking over the utility or the car side here of the map. Mydudesa opening up an opportunity here, but Zekrom is threading the needles with those shots. Nearly got the team kill, nearly got the betrayal, but instead comes down with a slay onto Anonimal.
Wirta, little bit of grenade fire, and that's the tough part. When you want to cover such a high position for the flag, you do leave yourself open to grenades across the map. Sure. You do. It's really tough because you want to be close to your objective to try and kind of keep touch on it, stay behind cover as much as you can. But the cover when near the flag is kind of shallow, you probably want to be a little bit farther back on that.
Yeah. I think that's more than fair. Wirta does win another great kill. Honestly, Wirta is making some plays right now. 14 and 13. It's hard to say because like it hasn't turned into a capture yet, but still have to give credit to the slays. Anonimal picks up 1. Permish finds himself in a double team though. Unfortunate. Promise of Us now has a prime real estate, top and center of the map.
Yeah. Right now, Post really trying to make that push, but not able to kind of follow through on it. Kind of general stage control is going to go back into SUNY Canton's favor. Promise of Us is going to be pushing out through top mid, but opting to kind of back off a little bit and let the rest of his team kind of work on it a little bit harder. And Post is just kind of grouped up right on their base. Really good for defensive play, but you don't, the farther back you are, the less you're kind of doing for the objective.
Yeah, I think Anonimal's happy to get the trade in that situation, but that boy has that flag yet again. Tosses it out, gives up his life instead of trying to milk it behind that flag post. I guess that's the advantage you have when you're up 3-0. You can kind of make those gamble type of plays. That flag does get reset, but Zekrom is locking down. He's holding defense, but he's also covering top mid, hoping for Promise of Us to rotate over to that camo spawn, but instead Anonimal's gonna win not 1 kill, but 2. Can he make it 3 in a row? He doesn't land the melee. Would have been a beautiful trade there. Instead, Cool Dog escapes with the camo and tries to milk his life.
Yeah. Oh, that camo almost working out in that situation. But the single punch isn't really going to work out. Able to strip the shield off, not really. No one's really able to clean that up on Mydudesa though. Permish is going to be going up against Zekrom, but Zekrom is going to. Well, Zekrom gets to get cleaned up by Mydudesa. And Promise of Us is going to try and kind of follow up on Mydudesa. Not able to get the cleanup though.
Permish comes through and does get a cleanup kill of his own, but again, 3 minutes on the clock. It's not impossible to get 3 captures, but they really need to be conscious of the time on the board. Now, Permish wins a couple of critical kills, wins a kill on Zekrom, and then cleans up another, cleans up a kill on Promise of Us, and this is great. Permish hold that mid zone, but you gotta stay alive, allowing time for your team to rotate through the back of the base. We are gonna see Post with a flag pull, but Mydudesa has a player hot on his trail.
halfway across the map might be enough for Post to kind of, pull it through. But Cool Dog is on flag, returning it. And it really feels like SUNY Canton is, whoa, I was going to say they do feel content just kind of holding onto their flag in position back in. But now we see Dat Boy going cross map, but that is a team wipe on SUNY Canton.
Now this is the chance. Promise of Us is really fighting tooth and nail off of that respawn, but the reset comes through, and that might be just the glimmer of hope that Post University need. I still need to see them breaking that 0 on the scoreboard as they have the flag on the rotation, but Anonimal is taken down, 3 go down, and that's going to be another reset. I think they're just going to be out of time.
Yeah, it's minute 54, minute 53. It's just, that timer is just going down and down. It's just like, with such a big kind of like, lead right now. It's like, what I guess what it's supposed to do.
Woo!
Yeah, back hit. Promise of Us is gonna opt us, just gonna throw that flag down.
That's it. That's the commando play I'm talking about. Sorry, Frisco, to interrupt you, but like seeing it used correctly, we saw a couple of glimmers from Wirta earlier on with the use of the commando, but Promise of Us, that takedown was really showing what the adjustments to the commando are capable of, and I had a couple of perfectly placed grenades as just the cherry on top.
Double kill coming right out of that killing spree. Can flag be returned for Post before this kind of goes a little too far? With only a minute left, though, this is looking pretty tight right now.
I would have freaked out. Did you see the play that Promise is going for right there? He was trying to get the remote detonation from a frag grenade that was on the ground from a fallen body. Like somebody died there and like the frag fell on the ground and he blew it up to go for the remote detonation. Like he got the damage but not the kill. I would have freaked out if he had made that play.
Yeah, right now Zekrom trying to hold position right here, kind of, keep flag in check. Flag is returned. Permish is going to be taking it high. Good cover area. Can he clean up another one on Promise of Us? No, opting to kind of live to fight another day, but that day did not come.
Credit to Permish, though, the leading assists on the scoreboard with 13 to his name. 19 and 21, a slightly negative kills to deaths, but that 13 assists really says a lot for the team effort and, trying to put down damage. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough. It looks like the Canton Spartans have secured their spot in the playoffs as the clock ticks down to 0, and that 3-0 lead is going to seal the deal. That is game number 4.
Yeah, and that is going to, that's going to put SUNY Canton at 4 wins for the season. I would say a competitive 1-3 for Post, I would say.
Yeah.
You hate to see it. Post doesn't get to qualify for playoffs at that point. You hate to see it. But hey, it was a valiant effort.
Is there one more week? I think there is one more week.
What week number is this? Oh,
yeah, this is round 7.
Oh,
so there's one more chance, I believe.
See, this is why you're the math person.
I'm just looking at the website. It does show round 8. So as far as I know, if Post wins next week, if they end up the season 4-4, is that enough? Do they just need to be even to get to playoffs, or
they need to get? I think they need to just hit 4, and that's it.
Okay.
Because I know Smash Purple, they've qualified for playoffs for a little while now, and they've just been at 4. So I'm pretty sure they just need to hit 4 and they qualify.
Okay.
So for some reason, I thought this was the last week because I know that NECC is done. So maybe it's just my bias in my brain.
I definitely know that this is round 7. November 10th, round 7 is today, and that there is one more round 8. So
there we go.
Assuming
There's
that
another
next
chance.
Thursday is gonna be the last chance. You were mentioning how this felt a little bit better from last week. I honestly, dude, I love Post University. I'm rooting for them to hit the playoffs, but I kind of want to see a matchup between Boise State and the SUNY Canton Spartans. That would be a really good matchup because both series ended up going, 1-3, and solid players. I think that both of those teams have 2 really standout players on either lineup, and those standout players just proved to be too much to Post University. I love seeing a team like Post University where they have 4 solid players that have pretty even stats, you know, can all get the job done and can work in unison. But I almost feel like they need to just hit the next gear, right, to be able to take down these teams that, at least for now, are proving to be better.
Yeah, you can be a well-rounded machine, that well-oiled, well-rounded, but if there's like a tiny little, you know, nick in something, those kind of can be taken advantage of, especially when it comes to like two very strong players on in this case on the SUNY Spartans side. Though they can take advantage of that kink. Like it can be as even as possible, and then still that one little kink can kind of fall into place, you know.
You could have strong armor, but one chink and the other team can exploit it. So maybe something for post-university to take back to the virtual locker room, or maybe the physical locker room, and discuss how do you match up against these just like the high value targets, if you want to call them that, or these players that are like, listen, they're going to beat you on any 1v1. Just assume they're going to beat you in a 1v1. How do we win regardless? And it might be an interesting strategy for them to look at the last 2 weeks as an example of that, because you can have a solid team of 4. You can beat 2 exceptional players if you have that teamwork in perfect harmony and, polish out some of those chinks in the armor.
Yeah, and hopefully they can, there's a little bit of time between now, of course, and next week, about a little bit of week. Let's see if they can kind of work something out and, get a little bit more of something in their favor, get that one extra point to qualify.
Yeah, huge credit, though, to the SUNY Canton Spartans, obviously Zekrom, and a promise of us, 2 exceptional players that I think can go really far throughout this league and through playoffs. They more than earned their spot in the playoffs, and we will hopefully be following the journey of post-university heading into next week to see if they can, finish this last-minute shot. They were at 3-2, then they were at 3-3, now we're looking at 3-4, but listen, a loss streak can get flipped right back around. It's all about getting that 4th win on the record.
It's all perspective in the end. Exactly. But this has been Post Halo versus SUNY Canton Spartans. Thank you all for joining us. I've been Frisco, and Magick has been with me, casting tonight. Do you have any final words for everybody tonight, Magick?
No. I think just the usual, thanks for having me. Really excited to see these 8 players, showing up, competing, giving it their best shot with that playoffs on the line. And I'm looking forward to the postseason and hopefully post-university in the postseason.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Magick. It's always a pleasure to, be casting with you and have you around. It's always a pleasure. And thank you all, everybody, for watching tonight. It's a pleasure to have you guys there, kind of supporting us as well. We will see you next week. I should probably raid. Is Post 2 doing anything right now?
I don't know.
Raid Post.
Also, as far as for next week, if you're here watching, you want to tune in for the the last chance for Post University to get into the playoffs for the Halo team. Make sure to follow the Twitter for those announcements. Usually games are Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight was a little bit an hour later. They postponed it, but it can vary. So the best place to keep an eye on for updates of when those matches are taking place is there on the Twitter.
Exactly. So yeah, everybody go. I see Magick, you did supply that link in the chat. Everybody go click that and check out the Post University Esports Twitter for all those updates. So yeah, I'm going to raid Post U Esports on the chance that they're doing something right now. I'm not entirely sure, but we're gonna see. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you next time. Bye. Oh, wrong raid. It's esports too. Post U esports too.
It's not live, by the way.
Oh, it's not? Okay. Well.
No, it's they ended an hour and 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, we will see you guys next time anyway.